Hello friends and welcome back to my channel. My name is Katelyn from Florals.com and welcome back for another episode of 6x6 Fix. Today I'm using this beautiful mint colored green cardstock and my kit for how to kill a kit with style for the month of August. And it's going to be a really easy layout today. I want to use my 6x6 paper pads obviously because that's the collaboration Crafty Meggie and I are doing. I'll have her channel linked down below so you guys can check out her latest videos and see what she's up to. She's got a lot of great stuff going on. And the first paper I found in this Pink Fresh Studio paper pad from the Joyful Day collection was this cut apart sheet. Now I did also have the 12 by 12, but I already had used the papers that had the cut aparts on them. So using these tiny ones can be really difficult because they're hard to work in. I don't know about you guys, but embellishments that are squares are a lot harder for me to work with than say a circle or a rectangle. Not sure why. I think it's because it's hard to build something around because it's the same height and width, so it's hard to work with in my personal opinion for a majority of my layout styles. But I end up trimming a whole sheet of these down, and I just used my scissors for the most part. I don't really mind. I don't have the perfectionist mindset where I need everything to be the same size and the same straight lines. So I end up just trimming all of those out, and I have them all here on the left hand side of the layout. I also remember I have these wonderful journaling pieces from Maggie Holmes, and pull out that yellow one with that notebook. It's like a notebook flap style journaling, so there's a couple pages there. And then I decided I'm going to use all these pieces, and now I need to sort of space them out. And when I space out things like this, whether it be pattern paper, embellishments, the main thing I try to do is mix up the colors and mix up the item. So if there's flowers, I don't want too many like flowers to be together, but color trumps flowers. So if 3 flowers are together, at least they're different colors. As the same thing with words, I don't want 3 sets of word pieces together. I think that's a little overwhelming, so I want to try to space those out. What's nice about this particular cut apart set is that there were some blank ones, some that are just plain colors, which really just helps the eye settle just a little bit and gives me a spot to embellish later on. So I ended up having this weird awkward space above the photo where I was going to put the journaling block, and I had leftover cut apart pieces, so I ended up pulling them all in. So it's essentially a full sheet. I think I've used 1 or 2 on some other layouts previously, but nonetheless I used all of them. And I also pulled in some die cuts from the Pink Fresh Studio Joyful Day collection, and I put those to the bottom right of the photo. And since I haven't mentioned it already, this photo is actually from the 2017 Disney trip. And no, I haven't finished my 2016 Disney trip, but this one really spoke to me for this particular collection, so I decided to pull it out. And it's from the Epcot Flower and Garden Festival, which is definitely my favorite festival I've ever been to, and I really miss it. I miss all of Disney right now since I don't feel comfortable going in the current climate. But I ended up gluing all of these down with my Scotch Quick Dry, and I did not torture you by making you sit through all of that gluing, but just a little liquid glue so I could slide it into place. And I will say my spacing's not perfect, so I do apologize if that bothers anyone. I think I just kind of winged it, and it looks fine. I think it gives it that quilt patchwork vibe, which I think is really cute and really popular right now. I know lots of crafters who are doing things inspired by quilts, and hopefully you guys like this idea and can pull it off with your own cut aparts, your own die cuts, or you can even just cut up your own pattern paper, just regular pattern paper, and do this fun technique so it looks like a fun grid pattern. Right now I'm just going to pull out this frame pattern paper to put my photo on top of, and it's just going to add a little pop of color, but also that stark whiteness that I kind of want for such a busy layout. Now I am often using pattern paper backgrounds, and in this case I went with cardstock, which I think works a lot better when working with some busier subjects. But I also could have gone with a subtle pattern like a watercolor background or a tone-on-tone pattern that would have been lighter and not as overwhelming as these bright patterns that are on these small squares. But I think the cardstock really works well in this situation, and it's been so long since I've used colored cardstock that I think we could all use some inspiration to pull out our colored cardstock every now and then. Now you see me working on some rub-ons. These rub-ons are from Basic Gray. They are a lovely pink color. I think it's been a while since I've seen anyone do, and a majority of the rub-ons in my stash are Basic Gray, which is kind of funny because that means they're super old. But a majority of the rub-ons in my stash are Basic Gray, and It's been a while since I've seen anyone else on the market do rub-ons that are single color. Nowadays they're multicolor rub-ons. I don't know if the technology changed for how they make them so you can do multicolored, but I think all the ones I own are sets of white, black, I think I have a silver set, and then I had this pink set. And again, all of them basic gray. I have one, I think, Paige Evans set of rub-ons that was all colored, but I'm going to sort of stack these around and kind of frame my photo with them. And it's interesting because normally I wouldn't lay pink and green together because it's an interesting vibe. It definitely gives me Easter vibes because of these pastels. But if you think about it, it's really, really common in florals to have pink and green together. Despite this being such a pale green, I think there's still an opportunity for that to show up in nature. But like I said, I'm going to frame my photo with these, and they're sort of these beautiful scrolls. I know it's hard to see, and you'll see them in the up close. And despite these rub-ons being from 2008, yes, 2008, which means they're over 12 years oldish, 10 years oldish. I don't know what time manufacturing versus when I bought them. I've definitely had them in my stash for at least 10 years. But they work beautifully. Like I said, I only had issues with one of them, and the fact that I'm using them on top of textured cardstock is pretty amazing. But I used up the rest of those, which is so sad to see basic gray go, but I'm really happy to have used them. So I framed the photo with a majority of them and also framed my journaling card up at the top with one of the crown images, just so I could have a little bit of floral peeking through based off of the crown design. I glue down those Pink Fresh Studio die cuts to the right of my photo, and then the fun begins with my sticker book. If you guys know me, I adore my Maggie Home sticker book. And I'm looking in there for a title. I'm looking here at the Jelly Bean Soup ones for a title. And then I end up pulling in these blue ones. Now, these blue alphabets I bought maybe last month for my birthday. And I have used the crap out of them. They worked so beautifully with this collection. They're that weird purple blue shade that matches really, really well. And I end up going with Lovely Flowers as my title because my mother was obsessed with this festival because of all the florals and the topiaries and how beautiful it was. And she's always loved gardening. And this is her in front of some of the florals in the sort of the area between the France and UK pavilion. There's a big outreach portion over the water. And that's where we were to take this photo while we waited for, I think, the boys to get some food. Then I pull in this sticker that says, remember, it's a little ticket. I thought that would be fun based off of the festival aspect. A butterfly because there was a butterfly exhibit at this event. I look at some of the phrase stickers to see if I can get those to match. In general, this is actually a really plain layout. I didn't use too many different things from different places. A lot of it's from the paper pad or the collection itself. Plus a few Maggie Holmes things here and there, but a couple heart stickers in some of these blank squares, and we're off to the races. That is it for this layout. I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you do have any of these small cut aparts, this is a great way to use them up in an orderly fashion. But thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, be sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more. Check out Crafty Maggie's link down below, as well as educational information on how you can help with the recent events for the Black Lives Matters movement. And I will see you guys again very, very soon.